Hey guys, JC6 here, back at you with Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney. We're getting close to the end of case 3, and we're pretty much back at the spot where I got a game over last time. So let's go ahead and continue. Why did the security lady think Powers had done it? Is it because she saw him going toward the studio? Like the Steel Samurai. Let's press harder. Did the detective arrest Mr. Powers based solely on the security lady's word? Perhaps not. She seems to have also given the detective that photograph. Of course, I heard all this after the fact. That photograph, meaning the one taken by the security camera. She's not known for exhibiting the best sense of judgment when it comes to Hammer. I don't think there's anything in there I can use. You asked to be left out? Yes. It seems that everyone else was questioned. I'm really not fond of that sort of thing. But you can't just decide who police will and won't question. Thankfully, the studio thinks otherwise. They were nice enough to understand that since we were in a meeting, there was no way we could have been involved, thus they covered for us. I'll cover it up for you. There must have been a lot of writing on it with all those bigwigs at the meeting. I'm sure professionals helped convince everyone they didn't require questioning. The script and your direction notes? Yes, they're quite valuable. It wouldn't do to have them stolen. Wait a second, I thought you came to Studio 1 for rehearsal. Why didn't you bring your script and notes? Well, I was under the impression that we wouldn't be able to rehearse anything. There was a murder after all. Who could think of rehearsing after that? Wait a second, didn't we see this before? Yeah, I find it hard to understand why the prosecution will make such a move. Yeah, we've seen this because she knew about the murder before going to Studio 1, so... Wait... How did you know about the injury? The system was there. See, I can't find anything. I might even looked it up, but I forgot exactly what. I asked to be left out of the proceedings. Back to the trailer to get my script and direction notes. Wait a sec, I didn't mean to present that. Wait a second, what are you supposed to do here again? Find something to peg this on. Let's see, we gotta find a place to present this. System was there too. Actually trying to get my script in direction notes. I knew that Hammer was injured. I think we're supposed to present this one. Alright, we got it! You knew that Hammer was injured? Don't you think that's a little funny? I mean, it was the Steel Samurai who was injured. It was Will Powers. What? Mr. Wright, explain yourself. Miss Mr. Hammer was dragging his leg in this photo. But that's because he was pretending to be Mr. Powers. Pretending? One person was injured in a run-through that morning. That person was Mr. Powers, not Mr. Hammer. And why did you think it was Mr. Hammer who was injured? I already said it was Sal who told me. That's right, he must have gotten it wrong. I think not. Mr. Manila was at the run-through that morning. He would have known it was Mr. Powers who was injured. He saw it happen. Why would he tell you the wrong person? You saw Hammer limping. Actually, you didn't hear anything from Mr. Manila. You saw Mr. Hammer limping with your own eyes. Was it Mr. Powers who was injured? Yes, but remember, Mr. Hammer was dragging his leg too. He was pretending to be Mr. Powers. Ah! And when was he doing this? Well, it would have been after he put on the Steel Samurai costume and went to Studio 2 where he was murdered. Miss Vasquez, you met him, didn't you? You saw the Steel Samurai limping. And Mr. Hammer was in that Steel Samurai suit. That's why you were confused. That's why you thought it was Mr. Hammer who had been injured that morning. Order, order, I will have order. Witness, can you refute this claim? Yeah, let's see you sneak out of this one, Vasquez. Very well. I have a question for you. Why are the real killers always so persistent? Why in the world would I want Mr. Hammer dead? Yes, he'd fallen on hard times, but he was a star. I had nothing to gain from his death. Nothing. Yes, you wouldn't need a motive. Why would you have killed the victim? If there is a reason, it is unclear to this court. Does the defense have anything to say on the matter? In other words, can you prove she had a motive? Oh yeah, you're supposed to say I can't prove it. Nick, no, saying you can't prove it will be a being defeat. She'll get away. What proof could I possibly have? I don't care if it's impossible, you still have to fight this one. Yeah, 5-year photo. This is my proof. This is the photo from before. This photo reveals the motive in this murder. I'm right, aren't I, Ms. Vasquez? 5 years ago, Mr. Hammer was at the height of his fame. With the Vasquez's help, a terrible accident was swept under the carpet. Ladies and gentlemen, the case currently up for trial, it began on that day 5 years ago. Ironically enough, that accident precipitated Mr. Hammer's fall. His fall from stardom. His guilt weighed him down, no doubt. However, you, D. Vasquez, used Mr. Hammer. You made him work for you for petty change. Bring us to the present day and Mr. Hammer's last role as the evil magistrate. Yes, undoubtedly it was the constant source of shame for the ex-star. One moment, Mr. Wright. We're talking about motives here, yet you have only talked about Mr. Hammer. It almost seems as if it was Mr. Hammer who had killed the Vasquez, not the other way around. What motive would Miss Vasquez have? Yes, that's right. According to what you say, I've had no reason to kill Hammer. He was a good source of income for me. I never get rid of useful men. It's a policy of mine. That makes sense. One of my policies is, that's kind of similar to my policy. My policy is, when times get tough, you gotta get practical. That's one of my policies. Yeah, you're supposed to pick she had no motive. She had no motive, Your Honor. What's that now? It was Mr. Hammer who was out for blood. All Miss Vasquez did was push him off the stairs in self-defense. What's that now? It's simple. Mr. Hammer was intending to kill Miss Vasquez. What? What? Your Honor, Jack Hammer drugged Mr. Powers with sleeping pills. Jack Hammer snuck into the dressing room and stole the Steel Samurai costume. Jack Hammer wore the costume to fool the security lady into thinking he was Powers. Then Jack Hammer made his way to the trailer. And for what purpose, you ask? To kill D. Vasquez, who had so cruelly taken advantage of him all those years. Oh man. So you did do it, didn't you? Yes, I am guilty. It was me. Wait a second, why is she confessing? We still don't have any decisive evidence. That could have showed she did. We don't have any hard proof that she is the murderer though. There's blood everywhere, we're too late. Ms. Vasquez, what happened here? Manuel fell from this trailer stairs. Manuel! Ms. Vasquez, please, try to remain calm. No, how could this? It was an accident. Mr. Hammer was doing an action scene and... No, Manuel! Don't touch him, Ms. Vasquez! No! Please don't die. Please. Congratulations, Mr. Wright. I lose again. Well, if she didn't confess, I think we might have lost if she didn't confess. Mr. Edgeworth, where's D. Vasquez? In the waiting lobby, Your Honor, as calm and collected as ever. Mr. Wright? Yes, Your Honor? Appears you have brought about yet another miracle. I thank you, Your Honor. I think not, Your Honor. Will Powers was innocent. That he should be found so it's not only natural, not a miracle. Yes, you're right. Very well. This court finds the defendant, Mr. Will Powers. Finally, we are done with case 3. As all, the court is adjourned. Holy... Oh my lord, that was a long case, jeez. I don't know what to say. Thank you so much. Oh, no problems. We finally got we finally got you innocent. Yes, but it's sad. I know now that Mr. Hammer stole my costume. It's bad enough that he wanted to kill Miss Vasquez, but to think that he tried to frame me for the murder, it makes me sad. Tell me why, Mr. Wright. Tell me, why did Mr. Hammer want to blame me? Maybe show some evidence. Hammer wanted to put the blame on you because... It's because you were the Steel Samurai. Because I was the Steel Samurai. Mr. Hammer was a big star once, but he was reduced to act in the kids show as the villain to boot. The kids loved the Steel Samurai, and so he hated you. I think I understand. He could have just told me. Yeah, why do you have to make things so complicated? I have changed places with him any time. I'm just glad it's all over. Jeez Louise, why do you have to make stuff so complicated? Congratulations, WP. Thanks to you, I'll be able to don the Steel Samurai outfit once more. I can't wait to get back into that sweaty costume, man. Is something wrong? No, of course not. Ah! Nick! Edgeworth. Well, thanks. Say something, right? I'm not good at small talk. What? That was too bad, Edgeworth. You don't waste any time gloating, do you? Well, I really want to thank you. Vasquez would have gotten away if you hadn't stepped in. Pleased to meet you. I'm Powers. Edgeworth. I'm a big fan of your work, Mr. Powers. You watch Steel Samurai, Edgeworth? Right, I must say I hadn't expected to meet you again after all these years. Meet again? However, in retrospect, it would have been better had we not met. Thanks to you, I am saddled with unnecessary feelings. Well, don't worry, I go through... don't feel bad, Edgeworth, don't feel bad about your feelings, even when you try to get things done, sometimes you just get sentimental, Unease and uncertainty. It happens. They only serve to get in my way. You listen to me, Phoenix Wright. Don't ever show your face in front of me again. That's what I came here to tell you. Well, I'll go ahead and stop it right here, guys. Next time we'll see what Mr. Powers has to say. Take care, everyone. I'll see you next time, and we'll begin case 4. Well, bye, guys.